parts of Johannesburg will probably not have their waste collected due to ongoing workers' strike at Pikitup. On Thursday, Pikitup's waste removal trucks at the Randburg depot remained parked as casual workers continued their demonstration over contractual disputes. For more, we are now joined by Pikitup spokesperson Muzi Mkhwanazi. But Mkhwanazi, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this evening. Now, the casual workers that are currently on strike are saying that they have been overlooked when it comes to permanent employment. What's the perspective of Pikitup?
Good evening. And the vacancies that the casual workers are referring to were advertised last year in, I think, between November and December, and they were open to all residents of the city, so to say. And quite a number of people applied for those vacancies. We're talking around about receiving over 50,000 applications for 300 positions. And as Pikitup, in compliance with the also Labor Relations Act, we opened those opportunities to everybody to apply for them. So we are taken aback that there are such complaints emanating from internal, or such allegations that are leveled against Pikitup. And in any event, the whole process of the recruitment process, we had given it to a service provider, which means a private company, to take care of it, of the entire process. In view of experiences that we've had also in the past, 2016 were the same thing. 2018 with employees or former employees that work for Josie at work. And even this time around, it's casuals from Pikitup, augmented by members of the public who are latching onto the disruptions that we have experienced so far in hopes of attaining with allegations or trying to force the institution to employ them. But however, the process was undertaken and everybody was free to apply.
So you're saying it was 300 posts that were open. I mean, many of these casual workers claim to have worked with Pikitup as casual workers for the last decade, being 10 years. Of these 300 posts, are we saying that a majority of them, by implication, did not apply for these jobs?
No, we're not actually saying that. What we're saying is some might have applied and haven't been accepted into Pikitup to work in those or made it in terms of those vacancies. However, those that have not made it into or were not appointed are part of the group that are complaining. And it's surprising as well, because there are due processes to be followed in such situations where people are disgruntled about the process. If I apply for a position, I go for an interview, I'm not appointed, there are grievance procedures to be followed. And those were not exercised. However, today, in the last couple of days, there's protest by these casual workers and preventing the normal operations of Pikitup, which is said. We understand the enormity of the problems around unemployment in the country. However, there is a rule of law, and Pikitup has to render services to the public. And as well, there are grievance procedures that can be followed if people are grieved by the outcome of the process.
Which areas would you say were hardest hit in terms of waste collection?
The Norwood, Selby, Marlborough, to a large extent, Midrand, as well as Deep Sloot. Those were the areas that we experienced a whole lot of disruptions. And, Avalon, slightly. However, we're hoping that with the involvement or heightened security that we've requested from public order policing, tomorrow we might be able to go out, work, and try and cover the backlogs that have been created, whilst at the same time trying to engage the representatives of the casual workers who are aggrieved by the outcome of the process, the employment process that has taken place.
Speaking of that engagement, I mean, they have vowed to continue to strike until they are offered these permanent posts. Are you reaching any consensus with them? Have those engagements started?
We will continue. We have started in trips and drabs with some of the representatives of the aggrieved casuals, and we will continue to engage them. We'll continue to engage them until we find each other and find an amicable solution to the whole impasse or problem. Ultimately, the residents of the city of Joburg deserve a clean, or to live in a clean environment. We need to find ways, common grounds, and ways of moving forward around this issue and resolve the issue.
I mean, you spoke earlier on that this issue has been ongoing. I mean, you experienced it in 2016, in 2018, and now in 2024. What measures are you putting in place to ensure that the next time you open up for vacancies within the entity, you're not left with a situation such as this one?
I believe that the move of hiring or using a private company or service provider to assist us in this regard was one of those approaches based on the same allegations that were leveled against us in the past, to try and avert what has happened. But it has happened now. Management will sit down, look at a future approach, having taken into consideration all the complaints that were meted out in terms of this particular program. So what it will look like, it would really be, I can't really foretell what the strategy would be like going forward. However, it is imperative that management sits down and note all these concerns in view yet as well of what we have taken as a strategy to move forward, not to use internal capacity, but to use external capacity to employ the casual workers. We will maybe devise a plan that might be watertight, to say the least, to avert such recurrence in the future. However, it's interesting as well that other organizations out there, entities of the city as well, do employ casuals, but they don't suffer the same fate as Pikitup. So we need to go back to our drawing boards and learn from the experience and improve into the future. The outlook of how that would look like, I cannot at this stage foretell, but something needs to be done in that direction.
And if one were to ask of constructive obligation with regards to maybe some of them having been with the entity for over 10 years, is there no way you could meet each other halfway with those employees?
So I'm saying some of the allegations that were meted out against Pikitup, I mean, there was also allegations around people volunteering for 10 years, others having worked as casuals for 10 years. Remember as well, the relationship that we have with casuals emanates from the EPWP program, which is a national program, which is a manner into a program that seeks to alleviate unemployment for temporary periods of time, which is normally 3 months. After 3 months, you hire other casuals. After 3 months, it's a revolving kind of a program. The other one to assist in lessening the high rate of unemployment in the country is we work with co-ops. So the relationship is with co-ops and other casuals, not directly with Pikitup. The workers who are contracted to co-op, who in turn those co-op work for Pikitup. So those are some of the dynamics that are in this particular employment relationships that we have with casuals, and it has to be relooked somehow, simply because in a normal sense, they are not really employed by Pikitup, but they are contracted to Pikitup via a third party. So to make it simpler.
All right, Muzi Mkhwanazi, thank you so much for that clarity and for your time this evening. We certainly do hope that you will come to a solution soon enough so that we can see some of those streets in Johannesburg being cleaned up. That was Muzi Mkhwanazi, the spokesperson for Pikitup.